They're playing our tune once again, eRacing GP. We are on to round 2 of 5 of season 6 of the eRacing GP. We're in Czech Republic today, Alex. We've just seen a very competitive Copper edition, a very competitive race too. Now we're on to the Bronze Boys, where it's the Philippine show.
Yeah, I mean, Bronze Boys with the M1s and the Porsches, they're great to watch. Let's not forget we are doing historic with a bit of a tip of the hat to the old days. And they were great to watch. Really, really difficult cars to drive. Lots of power, no grip, lots of understeer and oversteer. But if the boys can get on top of it, you know. Anyway, I'm enjoying the spectacle.
We'll get on to the Copper Boys in just a moment, but we've got Silver and Gold still to come. Just to remind you of how the Gold Boys really did it last week. Here's the best of the highlights from round 1 at Salzburg Ring. This is the start. Naqib Aslan in pole, bottom right of your screen. Long wait for the drivers. Red lights are still flashing. Now we're underway. Naqib, a bit of wheel spin. Behind him, Nabil gets a good start ahead of Inigo Anton. Perwin is there. Naqib holds on. No, Naqib overtaken by Nabil and Josh Perwin.
Wow.
So Nabil Aslan leads the way and Amo Hazik joins us for commentary. Amo, sorry for the late start. Well, what a start that is for Nabil Aslan. As Naqib begins to make a move, Naqib goes through on the inside, and Naqib, having been fastest in qualification, Amo Hazik has regained the lead. Josh Perwin behind the two brothers in P3.
And he's got his brother as a buffer here and driving the same car as well. In fact, all three of them in the Nissan. But no team orders as of yet, or brother family orders. It's just a straight fight all the way as we come to the end of lap 1.
He certainly is, but Naqib has been able to establish himself a bit of a lead as Josh goes on the inside. Nabil just closes that gate. Have you had a chance to drive these these Group C vehicles, Amo? They're difficult, as you can see, as Perwin goes off. Now Nabil has received a slowdown penalty. That will enable Inigo Anton to go around him. Oh, is he able to? As Harris Zephyr receives a slowdown penalty as well. Track limits abuse. This tight circuit is causing a problem. This time, Inigo is able to get through into P2. Nabil lets him through. And and then he goes wide. Inigo Anton gets it completely wrong.
I know Nabil got it wrong, and fortuitously, he found the escape route right there, so he didn't lose that much time. But he'll be very annoyed for himself that he gone that wide and lost position. I think these guys who have been used to driving some really newer school cars are not used to this old one. Says Reyes goes to the inside and takes third place away from Tasbi,
I think he was just defending it there, Russell Reyes. He was just able to hold off an attack by Mohamed Tasbi. So Russell Reyes for the Velocio Ragazza Squadra team is holding on to P3. He's about 2 seconds down on his fellow Filipino Inigo Anton.
He's going to have to let by as Naqib, I think, has come through the final corner to take victory.
Yes, there is Naqib Aslan, takes the victory in race 1 of the season. A veritable country mile clear of Inigo Anton. Inigo Anton from the Philippines, a very good P2 for him.
Yep, and it's going to be an interesting run up to turn 1 because remember, the fast guys are now in that midfield towards the back, while the slower guys are actually going to hold the front as a bad start there from Harris. In fact,
Harris is pushed out the way.
Oh, he's got hit by Nazri Aslan there. But the rest of the field go by as now coming to the first corner. Jinmez Vilton actually leads the way. He gets the whole shot coming to turn 1.
Jinmez Vilton leads the way from Nabil Aslan. Josh Perwin, he'll be looking to make amends for a disappointing round 1. Josh Perwin has got himself up into P3 already. That's the race he's got ahead of him. And Nabil Aslan trying to go on the inside of Jinmez Vilton. Vilton is pretty quick himself, though. We forget how good the second string of racers are. Behind them, how has Naqib started? Where is Naqib Aslan?
I hazard to guess he has actually made his way up to P7 in fact. So great start.
Yeah, Naqib in P7. There he is. What a start! And he takes Ayman Hazik there as well as Naqib Aslan. Well, we're with Jinmez Vilton at the moment, but Naqib Aslan has got himself up into P7. Fabulous start as Josh Perwin goes around Nabil Aslan into P2. Alessandro Ottaviani moves into P3.
But in this case, it's the 962C used racing car slower than an SN92K. So now he's going to have to defend hard here. There's Vilton on the inside. Perwin on the outside. Can Perwin make the mistake? They're going side by side through the Notchstein curve. and somehow Kerwin can manage to actually get the power in without sliding. He takes the lead.
This is a real scrap going on here. We're on board with 14-year-old Dylan Tan. Behind him, Naqib Aslan draws into the slipstream, tries to get close. Naqib goes on the inside of Dylan Tan. Dylan, whoa, almost runs into the back of Naqib Aslan. There is Ottaviani around the outside. Nabil defends this time. Ottaviani may well have been able to do too much. And Nabil pushes him off. And Ottaviani, for the second time in this race, slides off the racing line. Naqib trying to get into P5. That's Tasby that he's taking on. Tasby versus Naqib. Tasby defends. Naqib tries to go on the inside, and Naqib, this time the straight pace, is able to just not get him through. Great defending from Mohammed Tasby. Reyes is the man in front of them. This is the battle for P5 at the front. Josh Perwin has won it. Josh Perwin takes the victory in race number 2. Nabil Aslan comes through into P2. Alessandro Ottaviani in P3. Reyes in 4. And Naqib Aslan has just got the better of Tasby. And Naqib will come through in P5 ahead of the Singaporean. Great stuff. Naqib Aslan getting off to a winning start in the defence of his Season 5 title. Josh Perwin with a near smile and a thumbs up for us there. Gold is coming later. Firstly, though, let's refocus our attention onto the bronze edition. They're driving the Group 4 cars, and after round 1, the standings are... Andre Janssen Villanova from Philippines leading the way, a 37-point weekend for him ahead of Francis Metrillo and the youngster Axel Mariano. The likes of Andreas Wolf coming out of Singapore, and Kelvin Pao, who was the copper champion in P5 from Malaysia alongside Mohammed Jiki, and Rangy Rover. We know that's not your real name, sir, but we like it. Sage Nico, Christian Duque and Alan Drake Cruz completing the top 10. Okay, let's get on to some live action. There's still a couple of minutes worth of practice going on, Alex, and you've got the guys in the Group 4 cars. Again, a little nod to the classics, thank you. It's people of my age who appreciate this kind of stuff. It's more difficult for the drivers, though.
Yeah, and we are riding on board John McGregor right now, and it's both the cars in shot right now. In Group 4 on Race Room, we have the BMW and the Porsche, is it 924 or something? So you've got two cars, very different strengths. The Porsche is lightning quick in a straight line. It's like a rocket, just sits down and takes off out of the corners. Whereas the M1, the BMW M1, has a little bit better handling, a bit more enjoyable to drive, I think, but not as quick down the straights.
As for the Bruno circuit, it's semi-straights, and then you've got no real time, though, to really flex your muscles, because none of those straights are what you call long, even though it is a longish track.
It is, you're exactly right. Very strange, very even on straights and corners percentage, maybe the most of any track I know. A lot of medium speed corners, long corners, so it is, but with no really long straights, it's hard to overtake. You got to mug someone if you want to try and get down the inside of someone to overtake you, but it is possible.
5.4 kilometers in length. Should be interesting, as you can see, undulating as well. They come up this top hill. We're still on board with John McGregor at the moment. I always keep forgetting which one's father, which one's son. John's the old man, isn't he?
Yeah, John's the dad, Jack's the son. Rich motorsport history. They both do a lot of karting in Singapore. Been around for a while. But it's nice to see him back in the sport.
This is Andre Janssen Villanova, who leads the championship at the moment after round 1. A very good weekend for him last week. A victory and a P8 for him, as well as doing well in qualification. Consistency is a key if you're going to be a champion, though.
It is, and we know he's got the pace, but he's not won a championship with the ERGP yet. He finished, I think, 3rd in Copper Class last time round, so it'll be interesting to see if he can maintain that consistency and win. He is in the Porsche. You know, the Porsche, I think, was the car to have at the last race at, where are we, Salzburg Ring. But here in Brno, I think maybe the M1 might be a bit better. Might have a slight edge. So it'll be interesting to see Villanova if we can do something with that.
Just in the last literal few seconds of practice, then we go into a 5-minute qualification section, and I think we might just stick with Andre Villanova to see how he starts qualification. We're still in practice now, just the countdown. It always takes a little bit longer than I imagine it should do, but Villanova, what did he do particularly well at Salzburg Ring last week?
I think there was quite a bit of he battled the M1s really quickly. You remember there was the other Filipinos, Metrillo, Nocom. They were in the M1s, the BMW M1s, and you could see that his superior speed down the straight, I think, just allowed him to sneak that win, and that's why he's leading the championship. But like I said, he's going to have a bigger challenge right now. I think, like I said, I don't think the Porsche is quite suited to this track as the M1.
Do you want to talk us around a lap of the circuit with Andre Janssen Villeneuve?
That would be my pleasure, Des. As we come to the last corner here, there are 14 corners on this track. Beautiful pit buildings on the right hand side. I'm very fortunate to say I've raced here. I've actually even commentated on GT1 here as well, so I've been here a few times. Lovely part of the world, Brno in Czech Republic. Through turn 1 then, it's a long corner. You have to brake and turn in. You can't brake too early here. Must be careful not to lock up the inside right front wheel as you do that. And then out of turn 2, easy flat through turn 2, down this longish, medium longish straight before braking for turn 3. Turn 3 is a position where you can overtake. 90-degree left, really. It's kind of like a long chicane because it's a 90-degree left, bit of a tiny straight, and then a 90-degree right. You can see Villeneuve setting up on the left to try and get a good exit out of turn 4 here. Use all the road a bit more. And then now we're starting to go downhill. There is a golf course on this track. I think it's a 9-hole golf course, or it might be 18-hole. Oof, because the gears crunch.
He's fastest through sector 1.
Faster sector 1 as he gears crunch through turn 5. Got to stick straight into turn 6. Carry the speed through. You can use a bit of the grass there before turn 7. Turn 7 is long corner. Got to try and keep the minimum speeds up here. Otherwise, you do bleed a lot of lap time. Out of turn 7, the short straight here before turn 8, you can go down the inside and kind of mug someone there if the guy in front is not expecting it. Before turn 9. Turn 9, very important to get a good exit because it's downhill and it's a longish, medium to long sort of straight. So a good exit out there will give you a lot of lap time. Don't see it on a 2D screen as we're watching now, but it is quite severely downhill before turn 10. Again, you like turn 1, you got to brake and carry the speed into it, hold the brake a little bit. Minimum speed is very important. Coming to the end of sector 2, he was purple in sector 1. Is he purple in sector 2 as he goes across the sector 2 line? Yes,
he is.
Purple in sector 2. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the Porsches do like this track. Maybe he will go as quick as he goes through turns 10 and 11. Now severely uphill. And you can't see it in the game, but in real life you see there's a golf course on the right here as you come up to turn turn 11 over on the right hand side because it's a left-hander now. Carry the speed again. Oh, don't go too wide here because you need to get over to the left for this next right-hander. Last corner on the track, turn 14, shall we say. Good exit out of there, it'll be a good lap. Someone's gone quicker. Zikri's gone quickest of all at the moment. Hamdani's gone quickest. But Villeneuve crosses the line and goes P4.
P4 for the current championship leader, but that is, I see Axel Nocom has put in a decent lap as well. 2:16 for the youngster. The fans on Facebook from the Philippines. Francis Metrillo second fastest. Hamdani, though, he was quick in the copper class last week. He stepped up a class and he's proven that he can be pretty quick as well here for FSA Racing.
Yeah, he was too quick for copper class, so we had a word with him and said, mate, you got to go up to bronze. And there he is, young driver, does a bit of karting, very talented. I was so extremely impressed with him in copper last week. But yes, not allowed to drive in copper now, and he's been promoted up to bronze. And as you can see, P3 at the moment, he's showing he can drive with the best of them in copper.
Gets a good whip, stays on the black stuff, and just manipulates himself around. Where are we? Are we on about 8?
Yeah.
8 and 9 here?
Yeah, 6 and 7.
6 and 7, yeah, and then on to 8 and 9.
He's half a second down, though, in the first sector, though. He did not have a good first sector, but he doesn't have time to do another lap, so he's going to have to try and ace the next 2 sectors to see if he can move up onto the front row. But yeah, what is that car? How much power is in that car? M1, of course, used to grace these shores in Southeast Asia with the famous Hans Stuck in the 80s.
That's quite a way down, Hamdani.
Yeah,
let's move on to Axel Nocom, the youngster. He's had a flying lap, but he's only 800ths down at the end of Sector 1 on his original time. So let's just maybe stick with the youngster Axel Nocom.
Yeah, so Nocom again through the out of turn 6, 7, now for turn 8. Oof, you just got to slow the car down in the middle of the corner and just wait for it to turn. Don't be too impatient. If you're impatient with the throttle, the car will just understeer. Oh, I love the sound of the M1.
At the moment he is on pole, but the next split time will tell us if he is likely to improve on that. It's an all Philippines with Alan Drake on P2, Francis Metrillo on P3, but Axel Novom, who was third overall, he had a P3 and a P10, and he is indeed 1/10 up on his earlier lap time, Alex, in the BMW.
Yeah, this would be better. We would have to, I think, after Nocom's crossed the line, we're going to have to go check out Drake Cruz or Metrillo, because I think they're on good laps too. But Nocom then, 2 more corners to go. This is looking good for a slight improvement if you can just keep the last 2 corners a bit clean.
2:16.1 is the time. Axel Novom will complete this lap. At the moment, he can't be knocked off pole. Alan Drake is in the pit, so Philippines 1-2 and Francis Metrillo 3. The Philippines show, but Villanueva, the defending championship leader, is down in P9, out of the points. Axel Novom doesn't improve his time, but will be on pole position for race 1 of round 2 of 5 of eRacing's bronze edition.
Yeah, nice there by him. Hamdani with his first drive in bronze class in 4. Great job by him. Nico Sage there 5, Kelvin Pao 6. You know, so Philippines all at the front with followed by a few Malaysians. Clint Olaf there from Australia in 8th as well.
Brilliant stuff. Kenneth Wong in the top 10. Dave Smart from Australia. A lot of good names. Yannick David down in P16 and Yevon David. Haven't seen a lot of them so far this season, but they are the starting positions for the bronze class. So, made in Philippines seems to be the motto for this edition for the bronze class.
And the youngsters, you know, Cruz and Nocom, I think, what are they, 9 and 13, I think, something like that. They're real youngsters. They've learned how to drive these cars. These cars are difficult to drive. A lot of the youngsters coming into these old historic cars are like, but they don't know how to drive them because they're used to cars with loads of grip. They go where you point them. With these cars, you don't. You got to kind of massage them to do what you want. So it's a slightly different driving style.
Okay, they are in the garage at the moment. It'll be a Philippines 1, 2 and 3, all in the similar looking vehicles. We'll keep an eye on Axel Novom at the start. He is the man nearest. The boy becoming a man. Edifice Casio are the official timekeeper. All thanks to them and to Xbox and to Royal Selangor. We are on the countdown for the first race of round 2. Red light at the top of your screen. What kind of a start from Axel Mariano Novom? We are still waiting. It's a long hold. And now we are underway. Oh, it's a flyer from Axel. Although to his right, Drake Cruz has gone skating past him very, very quickly indeed. Axel Mariano Novom has been dropped down to P3 after it looked like he got off to a real flyer, Alex Young.
Yeah, it is. And look at them, teammates there. Now got the sandwich. That Porsche again. Kelvin Pao with a great start. The Porsche's a rocket off the line. You know, having the engine on the rear wheels is a benefit when you need traction. And wow, what a great start by Kelvin Pao.
Kelvin Pao off to a really good start, as you can see, just trying to come on the inside as they've gone around that tight first corner. And now they're onto the left-handers corner 3, and then they'll turn onto this right-hand corner 4. Kelvin Pao under pressure from Axel Novom. Axel, it did seem like he got off to a good start, but then lost his grip. And it's Alan Drake Cruz who is leading the way. Philippines 1, 3 and 4 with Sage Nico in the Porsche, in the red, just having a little nose at the back of Francis Metrillo.
Yeah, nicely done. Now this Kelvin Pao's the cork in the bottle right now. He's not as quick to the corners, and he's holding up Nocom and Metrillo. And all the while at the front, Drake Cruz is pulling out a gap.
There is Alan Drake Cruz, and if he looks backwards, he can see what is going on behind him. It's a 1.4 second lead for Alan Drake Cruz. It is very, very early in the race, but that is quite nice. And I think you're quite right, Alex. He's just going to say to Kelvin Pao, you hold those boys up for me, and I'll just skate away from you.
Yeah, look at that. The Porsche just disappears down the straight. Metrillo really, if he's going to overtake the Porsche, he's not going to be able to do it down the straight. He's going to have to try and do it in one of the chicanes. Try and get him on the cutback, I feel.
Still, it's the Porsche holding on. As we just, oh, he has a look on the inside. That's well defended by Kelvin Pao. But Kelvin is defending rather than doing any attacking on Alan Drake Cruz. And Drake Cruz's lead, Alex, has extended to 2.6 seconds. And going away as they go up the hill.
Wow, look at that Porsche, just disappears. It must be so frustrating if you're in the M1 and you go, right, I gotta get past the Porsche. The Porsche just disappears down the street.
And Axel Nocom receives a slowdown penalty, track limits abuse. So he was fastest on the grid, but he's down to P4 and will have to time his slowdown because Sage Nico is there. Hamdani upper level, you can see them. Sage Nico in the red Porsche has just gone past Axel Nocom, and Sage Nico for a moment got himself into P4, but I think Axel Nocom's been able to pull that back into P5. Up at the front, the lead for Alan Drake Cruz extending even further. It's now a race best 2.7 seconds.
Yeah, what a good look at that. He's laughing about this. He'll see the Porsche in a second and go, that's awesome. Oh, as Metrillo slides into P2, just finds a way past Kelvin Pao.
So there is Metrillo, barges his way through. Get out my way, he says to the Porsche. That's no way to treat a Porsche, but there's the straight line speed of Kelvin Pao. Oh, he just guns it down the length and a contact, and Kelvin Pao is knocked sideways. And it's a racing incident, but the pace of Kelvin Pao counts for nothing on the corners.
Yeah, Metrillo might have to get a look at that. I think Kelvin Pao might be protesting. Metrillo there just outbraked himself. He should have covered the inside, I feel, earlier on. Then he could have made that position years. As it is, let Kelvin Pao go through and then went to the outside and hit Pao, which was not the way to do it.
Dave Smart taking advantage of poor old Kelvin Pao, who's now dropped down to P11. Back up at the front, Alan Drake Cruz, a 4-second differential ahead of Francis Metrillo and Axel Nocom. There's a real battle there for P2 though. As you can see, Axel is coming right on the tail of Metrillo. Again, it's the Philippine story in the bronze class edition, in the bronze cars as well.
Yeah, it is. Nocom there in P3, recovering from a slowdown penalty earlier on. They have the pace though. Well, I don't know, 4 seconds is a big gap they've given up to Cruz. But they've got a good battle here between Metrillo and Nocom for second position. And
just look at how far behind Sage Nico is. Hamdani is making a real fist of that one. Let's just move down to that battle for P4. That's Hamdani on the back of Sage Nico.
Yeah, Nico Sage,
sorry, yeah.
Then Nico Sage right in front of him in the insert. He's in the black, red and white Porsche. Just, yeah, Hamdani's just got to do what Metrillo did and just try and mug Sage into one of the corners where the BMW is able to brake a lot later than the Porsche.
Behind them, LJ Mutoch is making a little bit of a charge as well. Mutoch, just to keep the Filipino theme, you've got 4 Filipinos in the top 7. Clint Olive just behind them, and Janssen Villeneuve, the championship leader. He's struggling in the Porsche, down in P9, didn't qualify particularly well, was out of the points there, and looks like he might be struggling to get big points in this race with less than 10 minutes to go.
Yeah, and Mutoch there, I thought, trying to do a Hail Mary down the inside, but managed to slow down the car in time, so he stays in P6 for now. Oh, gets good exit out of there. The Porsche is just going to go by so easily, and does it easily now, but Zikri trying to fight back down the inside and takes the place back.
We're on board with the Porsche of LJ Mutoch. I like this circuit, Alex, but for these two cars, they both shine at different parts of the circuit, and the circuit's a really good test for them. We're on board with the Team Racing Line racer Mohammed Zikri out of Malaysia. He's in the BMW. It physically looks like he's got hard work to do there.
Yeah, these are physical cars. Get very hot as well. Well, in real life they get very hot when you're in the cockpit. But yeah, Zikri there holding on for P5 at the moment. See if he can go with Hamdani, because Hamdani I think is going to try and catch this battle, which is the battle for second and third.
Sorry, I just covered Axel Nocom because he was about to make a move down on the side of Francis Metrillo. I think for Axel, he's got to rely on a mistake from Metrillo, so just keep that pressure on his back wheel. Just make sure if there is an error, then Axel is there, but at the moment Metrillo's just been able to pull away from the teenager.
Yeah, tries to get a better exit. They're both maintaining the gap to the first place Drake Cruz, but they are scrapping. But yeah, Metrillo got a good exit out of what's that, turn 12, so holds on to P2 for now.
Kelvin Pao was one of the early pace setters. He was involved in an incident. He's got himself up ahead of Yevon David and Dave Smart, so he's back up into the top 10 is Kelvin Pao. Who else should we give a little bit of love to? Nicky Lim drove in the bronze before. He's down in P21. And Rangy Rover, just to give a bit of TLC to our Australian friends, down in P24 for the Oz New Zealand Sim Racing. There he is, bottom right of your screen. Tough quality of opposition for him at the moment, Alex.
Yeah, he's with the Oz New Zealand Sim Racing team. Yes, he's been driving with Global Edition with us for a while, so he knows about the level of competition. But yeah, he should be in midfield really, so he must have had an incident earlier on.
Looks like a Sunday afternoon drive. Back up to the front. Alan Drake Cruz leads the Philippines 1-2-3. In the distance, Nocom is still knocking on the door of Francis Metrillo. Hamdani is the man who is in P4. I know you wanted us to look at that one earlier. Looks like you made the right call to move him up a class.
Yeah, no, he's a driver with a good future. He's just did a 17.0. I know he's capable of doing laps in the low 16, so pace not as quick as expect him to be, but yeah, he will come he'll come along very well.
At the moment he's in P4 for Malaysia. Zikri beyond him. Clint Olive is a regular contributor who we don't often give an awful lot of attention to, but he's coming under pressure from Villanova. This is a decent response from Villanova, the championship leader in the Porsche. Olive in the white, Villanova in the black and red, and you can see just 3, 4, 5 Porsches in a row. That's quite nice.
Yeah, they are beautiful cars. Great to see him on track. Olaf there just holding up for now, but Villanueva finding some form. Like you said, he didn't have a great qualifying, but he's looking a lot better in the race now.
Tries just to take a little different line as Clint Olive closes down that gap. Ahead of him you've got LJ Mutoch and Mohamed Zikri. Again Andre Villanova. He's just trying to find a way round. We're focusing on this because the front three are a long way clear. Hamdani in 4, Zikri in 5, just going through there. This is where the real competition is taking place. And Andre Villanova right on the tail there of Clint Olive makes a move on the inside. Olive closes the door off the racing line. Has he been able to get through this time? The answer is again no.
Wow, it's a good battle there as he's right behind LJ Mutic as well. 3 Porsches, like you said, looking very good. Loving this viewpoint we're having of Mutic there with his VR goggles. Not really seeing much of him at all.
But there's what LJ Mutoch is seeing. He's seeing Mohamed Zikri ahead of him, not far behind. Again, I've just got to go on to Villanova because he's constantly on the tail of Clint Olive. This time going around the outside. Tries to go around the outside of Mutoch as well. Is he able to hold on? He really took a gamble there, did Villanova. He's got ahead of Olive and then loses it back again. So adventure but no cigar.
That was a super late break. I thought he was off the track, but fortunately for the championship leader, he's still there in the fight.
Great racing. We'll revisit that. Let's just see if Axel has been able to make any inroads on Francis Metrillo, and the answer is no. Fabulous shot, bottom right of your screen. That is eRacing, and that is the future of eRacing. Plenty of comments coming from you on Facebook. Thank you for them. Lot of Axel fans. At the moment, though, Axel, third in the championship, is third in this race and not able to make any inroads on Francis Metrillo.
Yeah, just Andreas Wolf there saying he was wishing he could be racing with us. Wolf actually finished on the podium in round 1, but he's had surgery on his knee, so he's not racing with us today. But like you said, back to the racing though. Nocom there on the insert there right now in P3. He's only 9 years old, I think. What a great job to see him up there.
Look after those knees, please. I speak from experience. Philippines 1, 2, 3, 6 and 8. It's very good. Villanova is still chasing Clint Olive. Another good battle ongoing is down in P10 when Nazir Asman is right on the tail of Kelvin Pao. Kelvin's got himself into the top 9.
Wow, yeah. Kelvin, what a great recovery drive, because he was down, I think, right at the back.
12-13 he dropped down to.
So really good to see him there.
Who did we have a brief glimpse of there? No, it wasn't Kelvin.
I think that was Nazir Asman.
Let's have a little look at Nazir. There's the shot of Nazir. There's his shot. good man, with the Axel t-shirt. Good branding, well done.
Yeah.
Extra points for him, Alex.
Yes, extra 100 points.
As he just tries to ease through on the inside. He's in 10th place is the Malaysian, head of Kelvin Pao. They will have raced multiple times. There's the difference that he's got. I'm loving the way that Porsche is sitting on the road. Again, back up to P3. Axel is trying to make a move on the tail of Francis Metrillo. This really is a good battle. 2 minutes and 40 to go. For about the last 10 minutes, Axel Nocom has been trying to get the better of Francis Metrillo, and Metrillo's repulsed everything that Axel has thrown at him.
Okay, I just want to go to the leader as well. We should have a look at the leader, see how he's doing. See how young he is as well.
There is Drake Cruz. Wow.
Gosh, I don't think he's 12. I think he must be like 9 or 10 as well.
You're not making me feel good here, Alex. I was reading comics at these kids' age. Terrific stuff.
Yeah, it's incredible how quick they go. Great activity for the father and the son, or the mother and the son, to be honest, or daughter. Because at this age you just love to do the racing. I mean, who doesn't like race cars? Everyone likes race cars, but you need to understand how to use the game, how to operate the PC. So it's really something that the family tends to do together.
Drake Cruz has got himself a monstrous 4.4 second lead over Francis Metrillo and Axel Nocom. Again, let's very quickly... let's have a look at a battle going on for P5. Mutoc made a move there on Mohamed Zikri. Mutoc is in the turquoise. Tries to go on the inside of Zikri. The Malaysian just holds his line coming up the hill. The power, though, seems to be with the Porsches, except when you've just got that drag. He was just called back a little bit, LG Mutoc. Zikri has done well to hold them off. And Clint Olive, well, what happened to Villanova? Villanova has dropped down. Oh, yeah. Villanova was chasing P9. Let's stick with Zikri and Mutoc. Mutoc trying to make a move as Axel ahead of them. Sorry, Alex, can I break away? Yeah. Axel Nocom makes a move. This time goes around the outside. Is he able to hold on? The answer for the umpteenth time here of Bruno is no. Then he does the switchback on the inside. Dramatic action going on here. Axel Nocom trying everything in his considerable experience to pick up Francis Metrillo. Then he goes round the outside again tries the switchback. Curb hit hard by Francis Metrillo. Battle Royale in commence.
Yeah, he's going to get a good exit out of this next corner, though. Gets a good exit he needs. He's got to look down the inside. Metrillo, though, looking to cover the inside, but he's not covering all the way. If I was Nocom, I would keep going, because Metrillo only just defended it slightly. He didn't defend all the way. But maybe that's the inexperience there of Nocom still. Trying to be not a... He's actually been quite kind. Tries to go around the outside. No, that's not going to work there, mate.
So Nocom trying everything. Metrillo really, really good defensive driving. Got to say that. Up at the front, we are now on the last lap for Drake Cruz. This youngster has established a 5-second lead. Behind them, Metrillo and Nocom are still battling against each other. Hamdani and Clint Olive in 4 and 5. Olive holding off LJ Mutoc. Zikri has made a mistake and Zikri has dropped down to P8. But our focus will be on young Drake Cruz.
Yeah, Cruz though, I'm pretty sure he's finished on the podium before in bronze class, but I'm not sure if he's actually done a
race win.
Yeah.
We'll need... Nicky Lim a slowdown penalty. I thought that was for Alan just for a second, but even if it was a slowdown, he's doing really well. Metrillo still holding off Axel. Edifice Casio timing shows us that the lead is over 5.5 seconds for this young kid from the Philippines. Drake Cruz coming in for his first victory of this season. And it'll really put him in with a chance of going into the lead in the championship. But Drake Cruz, clench of the fist behind them. Metrillo holds off Axel Nocom. But it was mighty close. Axel bursting for the line. Hamdani, a debut bronze class P4. Clint Olive in 5. But our focus is on this young fella from the Philippines. And he is shouting high-pitched tones of joy.
Wow. That is great. Hi, Alan. What a great win. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
What was your strategy? You looked like you had that from the beginning, quite nice and comfortable. Have you done a lot of practice?
Yeah, I done a lot of practice. I practice my race pace a lot. I practice my race start, so I just pulled away and won.
Okay, well, congratulations. Good luck for second race. You're going to start P14 for the second race.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Kids these days, talk about cool. Cracking little interview there. I'm sure we'll be hearing an awful lot more from Alan Drake Cruz. We're just awaiting the official announcement. It was so close for P2, but Metrillo has been given it 0.600ths ahead of Axel Novom, who made a real lunge for the line. 7-star garage, 1 and 3. Hamdani on debut, 4. Olive, 5, holding off LJ Mutoc. Nazir Asman winning the Battle of Malaysia against Kelvin Pao. Mohamed Zikri and Villanova, who both had their moments, they finished 9 and 10. The David brothers in 11 and 12. Ferguson, Chris Matthews, and Yazid Razak, they completed the point scores. Really good action though. Wow, they get younger and younger and really mature into it.
Yeah, really good. It's great to see them liking it. So it was good to see that. But yeah, Cruz there just disappeared at the start, and of course the others couldn't follow. It helped that they were battling behind him. Kelvin Pao though with the Porsche, unlucky not to finish in the podium positions. I feel when he got taken out by Metrillo. And that's a good point, actually. Metrillo might get a penalty for that touch on Pao.
Indeed, we do have race control, and you do have the opportunity to put in your protests, but they've got to send the film, they've got to give the details for race control to look at it.
Yes, that's right. You've got to send in protests. What we do is the people have to take a video of the offending car, send it to the stewards. Stewards have a look at it. And the guy that gets protested, they get to argue just once, and then we see what happens after that. So there is a system, just like there is in real life, to ensure that it's fair for everyone.
We are about to get underway. The red lights are on, and we are about to get underway on race number 2. That was a mighty quick turnaround. Chris Matthews from Oz New Zealand Sim Racing on pole position, but he's got off to a slow start. The David brothers right behind them, racing out of Singapore, but from Sri Lanka, and it is... which of the Davids, Yannick or Yevin? Both of them have got away. Yannick ahead of Yevin. Matthews in 3. Zikri has got himself up into P4 ahead of Ferguson. Kelvin Pao 5. Villanova a chance to pick up some points here. But this is a Sri Lankan stroke Singapore 1-2 in the early stages for Yannick.
I don't think they've quite figured out how to drive these historic cars yet. But 1 and 2 at the moment. Let's see if they can hang on to that.
Yannick went very wide there. Tried just to get the Bruno circuits, which is fairly wide. It does allow you the sense that there's overtaking opportunities, but then you run out of long straight. Yevon David though there just sneaks through, as I think does Chris Matthews. A little bit of sideways contact for a second time between Matthews and David, and Matthews, has he got to P2? Oh, that is a boxing match between Yannick David and Chris Matthews, and that has enabled Kelvin Pao to go into P3.
Wow, what a first lap from the Copper Class champion from last edition, up to P2 right now in the Porsche. And what's the exit out of this?
Trio slow down penalty for the qualifier, for the podium driver in race number 1. But what a start. Yevon David it is, who's got himself a good half second lead for Kelvin Pao. Yannick goes to the Andre Janssen Villanova has made a really good start, and he's got himself into P4 just off the tail end. Chris Matthews had lots of argy-bargy, might find himself in a bit of trouble later on. But there was the championship leader coming into this round, got himself in P4 here.
He needs this, doesn't he? He needs to try and take a win to try and hold him that championship, because Metrillo and Axel
5 rounds in this season 6 of eRacing GP. You can drop 1 round between 1 and 4. Front, Yevon David has been able to pull half a second lead over Kelvin Pao, but Kelvin has been here before Alex in race 1 and got himself out of the way as Yevon really loses control, and Kelvin Pao says, "Thank you, Mr. David. I will accept your gift."
Yeah, look at that. Yevon's under pressure now from his brother. But they're sending down the inside of both M1s and is up to P2.
P2 for Andrea Jensen Villanova, although then he goes wide and loses 2 places to the David brothers, working in nice harmony there, the Davids. It's Yevon ahead of Yannick, Yevon in the black, Yannick in the red and white. We are on board with Villanova here. LJ Mutoch not far behind them. This is a cracking five-way battle for P1.
Yeah, there's Villanova down the inside of turn 6, turn 7. Not the place for Villanova just has to be patient. He's got the pace to get up to P2 and doesn't want to overcook it without having contact. Really made a great set. Makes it through to P3 now. He's going to have superior speed.
Now Villanova has gone off the racing line. Villanova, that was a disastrous error from the Filipino, and that allows, I think it's Adrian Ferguson to go past him and Chris Matthews to go past him. But Villanova, as you say, just has to be careful, and he wasn't.
That was exactly what he didn't need for the young Filipino. P7 now. Still recover though.
Again, it's ominous. It's almost like an army of Filipinos, isn't it? All in the same vehicles. Alan Drake Cruz with a bit of contact there. Or sorry, Metrillo on the back of Chris Matthews. Bit of contact. Alan Drake Cruz stays out of the danger. But Alan and Axel Nocom, they are close by, close buddies. Mohamed Sikri in their trail. That is the battle for 8, 7 and 8. Front, Kelvin Pao leads the way. Will it be better for Kelvin this time? Looks fairly controlled.
He does, but you know what? Kevin David's not done. David's actually closed down a bit. After all that contact between second, third, and fourth, I thought Kelvin Pao would have a bigger lead, but he's only has a 1.1 second lead at the moment with Kevin David. So maybe Pao has not got it all his own way. With his pace, he's really pulled it front, but Kevin David starts to pace the gap.
Yeah, those two have got quite a bit of a gap now. Then look at LJ Mutoch. Mutoch trying to go on the inside of Yannick David. In fact, LJ has got himself into P3. Yannick has been 2 down to 5. Now he's into 4. Tries to retake 3 there again from Mutoch. Does so successfully. Back end slides away. Mutoch is then under pressure from Villanova. And then you've got the Filipino danger men coming through. And as you see there, Metrillo gets inside Villanova. Thrilling racing of Bruno.
Yeah, Villanova just getting wide in the corners around both the M1s now of Cruz and Nocom to come through. And now they're getting pressure.
The front though, Kelvin Pao will come back to that race as Villanova again. Tell you what, it's a highlight reel of his own for Villanova. He's got Metrillo in front of him. Who's he just taken there? Adrian Ferguson's in there as well. Metrillo retakes Villanova. We are on lap 3 only. There's been so much contact. Who have you got in race control today?
That's me. Chase Stewart. He's been a godsend. It's really helpful Malaysia GP.
Big shout out to us. There's a lot of people behind the scenes who make this happen, to make it great fun on the track. As Mutoch in the turquoise barges past Metrillo, has got Adrian Ferguson alongside him. That's a really good battle. We're in the chase for P4 here. Yannick David is overtaken. So Yannick David was in 3. Mutoch is now in 3. Is he able to hold on? The answer this time is yes. No, it's not. The answer's no. I apologise.
3. Okay.
Touch. 3. Once again, tries to go around the outside, and look at that. Metrillo three-way contact, and Francis Metrillo is barged back into P4. Mutoc takes a long, long way around, loses out to Villanova. Gosh, this is like WWE, where they've got the big 20 wrestlers in the same ring at the same time. We have got our equivalent here on eRacing GP Bronze.
You're right. Calling it wrestling is the right way, because you have to wrestle these cars. You have to wrestle with each other. Oh, someone goes wide there. It's great racing. You see the cars moving around, soft suspensions on them. They're real beasts.
Up at the front, Kelvin Pao coming under sustained pressure from Yevon David. Yevon tries to go through him on the inside. Yevon in the black, Kelvin in the white Porsche. He's just got that straight line speed, can accelerate away, but the grunt really comes from Yevon David, the Sri Lankan racing out of Singapore. He's not giving up on this one. Again, great battle in P1. These are 3 seconds clear of Metrillo, Yannick and Mohammed Zikri, who's in P5.
Yeah, but Pao though, they're just holding on at the moment. Will Yevon David be... Oh, down the inside. Nice move by the Sri Lankan. Just about holds on as well, but Kelvin Pao's going to come back for sure.
Well, there is Pao, tries to go around the outside, and as you say, you just come up the hill, and the Porsche has the pace. This is going right to the line, Alex. Gosh, where's that 9 minutes disappeared?
Yeah,
we've had 9 minutes of racing and so much incident.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, a bit of drifting from Yevon David costs him a couple of seconds.
Yeah, nice sideways motion. I do like these cars. You see them slide around so much. But Yevon's doing it. Whoa, there he is again. He's drifting around turn one. Tries to go around the outside of Pao. Nothing doing this time round. But
look who's coming in closer, Alex. Francis Metrillo, who picked up a P2 in race 1. He is suddenly in the reckoning. He's suddenly found a bit of speed, having got ahead of Zikri Mutoc and Alan Drake Cruz, and Francis Metrillo is in a podium and in a battle for P1.
Yeah.
Great racing. Oh, that old BMW. I don't remember it being that difficult to handle. Or maybe it was. Kelvin Pao leads the way from the academy. Yevon David in P2. Kelvin still looking fairly cool. I think what he'd really want to do is make sure at the very, very least he finishes with a podium here. Puts himself back in the reckoning. He had a P5 and a P8 in Salzburg Ring. He was out, I think, a P9 in race 1. Looking at least for a podium, an ideal race win in P2. As Metrillo goes on the inside of David. Metrillo barges through into P1 and then clips the back of Kelvin Pao. Metrillo looks the quicker of these three and he's barged his way through, Alex Young.
Yeah, but the Porsche down the straight, Pao holds on for now. He's just got to keep it cleaner, Pao does.
Crystal Palace colours of Kelvin Pao. Metrillo will try everything. Metrillo and young Axel Nocom were in a battle royale in race 1. Just talking of Axel Nocom, he's in P6 at the moment, being dragged along by Alan Drake Cruz. We'll revisit that just when there's some kind of reckoning in this race for P1. Metrillo can't hold on to Kelvin Pao as they come up the hill. The sun is setting in the Czech Republic. Is the sun setting on Francis Metrillo's hopes? The answer is no, because he's closed right up once again.
Yeah, we can't take our eyes off this battle for the podium positions. Pao there holding on. We've got 2 more laps to go. 2 more? No, 3 more laps to go. So still a lot can happen. So you have to say Metrillo's favourite at the moment.
3 more? They've just gone, so no, this +1 surely. 2 more. Oh, again. Metrillo is so aggressive, Alex.
He has to watch that contact though, because he's going to get penalties. Remember, these two came together in race 1. Metrillo hitting Pao into a spin. So hopefully we won't see history repeat itself.
It certainly is. It almost seems personal. I'm not aware of anything between them. Maybe they've raced in other things, but Metrillo does seem over-aggressive onto Kelvin Pao. And Yevon David is probably just holding on there saying, go on, you two slug it out. I'll take the win if you don't mind.
Yeah, David might be gifted a win if these two take each other out. Coming down now and down to the other second half of the track. See the Porsche is so quick down the straights, but I think the BMW's better on the brakes. can carry a little bit more minimum corner speed as well. So this is where the tight part of the track, these left rights here, and Metrillo is right there. Oh, he's getting side. Oh, Pao makes a mistake though, and Metrillo's through.
Francis Metrillo waited for the moment. Yevon David tries to capitalise as well, but is Metrillo then able to race away from the Porsche, or will the Porsche, once we get onto a couple of these longish straights, be able to claw back that deficit? But immediately Kelvin Pao, Alex, has accelerated to a second lead.
Wow, no, Metrillo, yeah, I mean, that's good. Yeah, well done by the Filipino driver. He's done a great job to get through the field, now leading. Don't forget, he started in P13, so he's had a tremendous race too here.
Breaking away from this just for a while, Alan Drake Cruz has been able to push his way through into P4. So this is going to be a very, very healthy weekend's work for Alan Drake Cruz, the real youngster, 9 years old, I believe you said. He had a P1 in race 1. He's got a P4 here. He's got Mohamed Zikri and Axel Nocom for company. Axel once again is in a big, big battle. Tries just to do the switch back there on Zikri, and Axel Nocom alongside Zikri. They are neck and neck, and Axel Nocom has got himself into P5 ahead of Zikri. That's a great move by the young teenager.
Yeah, really good move. I think... I'm not really sure. I'm just in the championship positions. I think if it finishes as it is, that puts Metrillo back into the championship lead, doesn't it?
Metrillo was on 26 points.
Yeah.
And yeah, it certainly will. It'll be a 45-point weekend or 40-point weekend. And there is Metrillo. Gosh, he's accelerated away. He's got real pace, Alex. Real pace, Francis Metrillo.
Yeah, no one's going to catch him now. Look at that. He's just driving away from everyone in a different class at the moment here in race 2.
And Kelvin Pao has just been able to hold off Yevon David. Yannick David was in the lead in the early stages, but Yannick David is now down in P22. He's clearly had plenty of problems. Let's go back into our race leader. That's the longest straight. Metrillo from Pao, from Yevon David. Alan Drake Cruz holds off from Axel Nocom. Again, Philippines enjoying themselves. It's almost a Philippines edition. Is this bronze class a 1, 4 and 5 and 7 with LJ Mutoch for the Philippines? You just see him in the back there in the turquoise. Dave Smart from Australia in P8, Hamdani 9, Nazir Asman 10, McGregor 12, Olive 13 and Villanova, who was in the reckoning, down in P14.
Wow, that's a good recovery from Hamdani. He had a terrible lap 1 actually, and he was last or virtually last in over the first lap or so. So it's a good recovery. He's trying to go around the outside of Mutoch. Wow, that's not easily done. And but Mutoch has got the straight line speed now, and Mutoch goes back in the lead. Will Hamdani try and go down the inside in this next corner? Ooh, he thinks about it, doesn't he?
It's Dave Smart, isn't it? Dave Smart holding him off the Aussie.
Sorry, Dave Smart.
Yeah. And then he just barges him out. I tell you what, they're just bigger cars. They are like muscling the Porsches out of the way on the corners of the BMWs.
Yeah, now going around the outside, he's now taking the position.
So, up at the front, we are now on the final lap. We are on the glory lap for Francis Metrillo. Alex Young, he's posting, what, a 3.33 lead ahead of Kelvin Pao and David. And there's the victory for Francis Metrillo. He's taken it from Kelvin Pao. A fabulous weekend for the Filipino. Kelvin Pao in P2. Looks a little bit downhearted, but he's held off Yevon David. Axel Nocom in 4. Alan Drake Cruz in 5. Metrillo with the victory. But I believe you want to have a quick word with Kelvin Pao, Alex.
Yeah, Kelvin, I hope you can hear us. Unfortunate race 1, but what a great drive to get P2 in race 2.
Yeah, but I really want to say sorry to all the Porsche fans. I really tried. But yeah, the last moment I just make a mistake and the brake just kind of lock up, and then that's how it was on me.
Well, unlucky then. Well, congratulations then, obviously. On to round 3. Good luck.
Sure.
There's confirmation. Fastest lap going to Axel Nocom, the youngster, who finished in P5 in overall. Actually, no, he got ahead of Alan Drake Cruz. right at the tail. That was a battle that we didn't see. I think while we were enjoying Metrillo's victory and Kelvin Pao's disappointment, Kevin David in 3, but Axel Nocom getting ahead of Alan Drake Cruz. So a rare blot on the copybook for young Alan Drake Cruz. Zikri in 6, Mutoc 7, Hamdani, very good debut, a 4th to add to this P8 in race 2. Dave Smart 9, Nazir Asman 10, Risky Ramdan from Indonesia in 11, McGregor in 12. Only the top 10 score points in race 2. That was fun.
Yeah, that was really exciting. Bronze gave us a lot of good fun just now. So thank you very much, Bron class drivers.
Indeed. We will get the championship standings up and running just as soon as Race Control have had a little look, but wait for them to be posted.
Yep.
Coming up after this break, we have got the Silver Class eRacing GP Global Edition Season 6.